What's up, everybody? It's Meech. You're tuned into On the Radar, where we cover health, fitness, and tech. So, first and foremost, Happy New Year to everybody. It is January 2nd. I hope everybody has started off the new year right. And so I want to let you guys know I'm going to have a slightly different format on my videos. I'm getting into podcasting. I'm starting a podcast, possibly two. So I hope you guys will rock with me with that, but also we'll get into that later. I just wanted to let you guys know I will be. So you're going to see a slightly different setup sometimes. I'm going to do my usual format, but I'm going to get into a lot more of just getting a little bit more in depth with things. So I'm going to, when the time's right, I'm going to want you guys to follow me on my podcast. I'll give you that information. But what I'm going to be doing is, besides the reviews and the different stuff that I do, I'm going to be giving you guys just a lot more general information and even some behind the scenes stories of a lot of stuff that goes on, because I do a lot and I don't always share it with you guys. And sometimes I have some very interesting just things that go on, interesting stories. Sometimes I just want to rant, get some things off my chest. So we're just going to be doing some things different this year. So just rock with me. But like I said, I hope everybody has had a strong finish to 2019. I hope everybody is starting off 2020 strong so far on the second day of the year. Now, I'm going to be going a little bit more in depth with things. I'm going to be doing what I call a little bit of investigative journalism. I want to see how transparent some of these companies are. I've been compiling information from my own research. I've been compiling information, listening to you guys and different things. You guys have been emailing me, telling me how, you reach out to different companies and, you're asking them about their TQ levels and all this different stuff. So I wanted to take it a little step further. So what I did was, Amazing Herbs, being that they are the biggest, most popular brand, everybody, we all started off with them. And, I started off with them. I reached out to some other companies too, but I'll get into that later. But I sent them about 12 different questions, specific questions. So what I did was I reached out to customer service. They directed me to someone. I forgot who this person is, what her specific title is. I have the email right here, but I don't see her specific title. But I reached out to this person. I'm not going to give her name, but I reached out to this person. She's she works with Amazing Herbs. Wait, she is the. It doesn't say. She's a sales manager. So she's a sales manager. They put me in contact with her specifically. I told her I had, these 12 questions. I told her what I do, who I am. I, sent her my YouTube references, my links and all that. I was very clear about who I am, very transparent about what I'm trying to do. Asked her, could I ask her some questions? And, would it be better if I did it over the phone? Could I send you email with the questions? So she said, send me the questions via email. I sent her the questions via email. Never got a response. I had to, keep following up. Then finally she tells me, and this is probably after maybe a week of waiting, because initially I sent the information on maybe a Tuesday or something like that, maybe a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And I asked her if I can get the information back, the response back by Friday. And she said, yes, definitely, no problem. So to make a long story short, I had to keep following up with her. She ended up telling me that she directed it to someone else who would be better served to answer my questions, and that she would get back to me whenever they was, I guess, going to give me the information. Make a long story short, it's been a month. No one has gotten back to me. I followed up several times. No, they're just pretty much ignoring me. So, I take it as it is what it is. They can't say that they didn't get the information. They can't say that, they got lost in the shuffle, because I was just reaching out repeatedly. So again, I'm giving every black seed oil company, the same questions, and, trying to get information out of them to better help us as consumers, have a better understanding of some of the stuff that works and how things are working and so let me tell you some of the questions I asked. Are they extracting the oil themselves, or do they have the oil already shipped and shipped to them? So I've explained to you, in previous videos why this is important, but we'll get into that later. What is the region of the seeds that you get your oil from, whether it's the seeds or the oil? Can you show the latest exporting documents? So the exporting documents is going to prove that they get their seeds where they say they get it from. Do you use industrial or commercial equipment when extracting the seeds, if you extract your seeds yourself? That matters because, and I'll get into all this stuff deeper, like I said, but that matters because the kind of machines that they use. So like if you can go on YouTube, you can see some of the people who produce black seed oil. You can see some of the machines. Some of those machines are very old. They're decrepit. They're in places that's not very sanitary. And, you know, it's just in certain places of the world, this is how they operate. But in the United States, you know, there's certain standards, there's certain codes, there's certain cleanliness, you know, standards and all this stuff. So the reason why this is important, because if you're not, where's the oil that we're purchasing from you? Where is it coming from? Where is it being made? So is it being made in a facility like this where it looks like it's just in somebody's random garage or some dirty, you know, factory type place, and it's coming from these old rusty looking machines? Or is it coming from a place that is really sanitary and it's really, you know, has all the health standards in place and all that? That is important. But these are things we don't think about. And it's not just with black seed oil. These are things that we don't think about with everything that we purchase. We don't really dig deep into where is the stuff that I'm putting in my body coming from, whether it's lotion, whether it's the food that we eat. Where's this food being made? All of this stuff. So I'm trying to dig deep into this type of stuff. What is the purity of the seeds? How are the seeds, or are the seeds being cleaned after harvesting? A lot of people don't know, you know, we don't even think about this stuff, but when these seeds get harvested out of the crops, they have to be cleaned to a degree to get the soil off, the bugs, just, it's coming from outside. These seeds have to be cleaned before they, you know, get pressed down. So can you show that? Can you show how, or what's the standards of your seeds being cleaned? What is the seeds harvest year? And I'm skipping around. Like I'm not giving you the same, because I'd be reading the whole questions out, but I'm just giving you, you know, the idea of what these questions are. Can you show the documentations of, you know, where the seeds were harvested and what year they were harvested and how they was extracted? Because here's the thing, like I've said in previous videos, you can purchase some black seed oil off a shelf somewhere. How long has it been sitting on that shelf? Has it been sitting there for 3 years? How old is this oil? You know, or before it even reached that shelf, how long was the seed sitting around? Because the seeds have an expiration date. A lot of those seeds can also mold. How long have these seeds been sitting around before they were pressed? After they were pressed, how long have they been sitting on a shelf? How old is the seeds the oil that I'm using? Is it still potent? These things matter. It's not things that we think about though. Can you show the benzoprene certificate? Remember when I did the video, and I'll link everything up here. I did the video showing from a different company that the benzo levels where it's basically the burnt contaminants to, I'll get into that later because I'm not going to explain it right, but it's the contaminants in the oil when it's being pressed. If it gets heated up to a certain degree, it's going to burn, and it kind of you know, shows that. That's what this test shows. And if you can't show that certificate to show what those benzo levels are, can you show a video of the oil being extracted and what temperature is being extracted at? Because remember, if the oil has to be extracted at a certain temperature, that's why most of these companies say on their labels that it's cold press. But cold press means it has to be pressed within a certain heat range, or the oil is going to be no good. So these things matter. What kind of filters you use when you're filtering the oil? What's your TQ level? Has it been has an analysis been made in a certified lab? Can you show me that analysis for your TQ level? Or are you just saying, this is my TQ level? Now, you got to also take into consideration, I always tell you, a lot of these companies, and you guys, some of you guys have done the research yourself. You've reached out to these companies. You've asked them for some of this different information. And you guys have, responded to me in emails and let me know and showed me the different information. So if you're saying your TQ level is, let's say 3.5, for instance, can you prove it? But also, if you're using oil from different places, then as you know, each seeds from different regions have different potency levels. So if you're using these different seeds, your oil can't have the same TQ level each time. So you would have to know what each batch is and where it's going. It's a lot of technical stuff. And I'm learning all this other technical stuff because I'm in the process of starting a few different businesses and working on bringing a few different products out that I can't really talk about right now. But these are all things that I'm learning from other things. And I'm like, it's so much deeper than we realize. And, we should know. And a lot of these companies aren't. I understand where a lot of these companies, they're not just going to put it on all this information on their bottles, obviously, and, on their labels, and they're not going to necessarily put it on their website, but it's the type of stuff where these things should be made available if the consumers ask for it. Now, think about if you go into a store. A lot of grocery stores, if they make like hot foods and sandwiches and stuff, they have to put their grade, especially in New York. They have to put the grade of their certification on the it has to be visible. So if they have a grade A inspection, a B, a C, a D, that all has to be visible so that we know before we walk into the store what their cleanliness level grade and all that stuff is. The same way if they have all their certificates that are important to their store being official and being open, they have to display this stuff. And you see this stuff in a lot of these stores. Like I said, especially in New York, a lot of the bodegas and stuff, you see a lot of their certificates on there. It's visible. So there's no reason why if you as a consumer of a product, if you ask, you shouldn't be given this information, because none of this stuff is like private, information that we're not supposed to have. If you're a reputable company, you should be able to be transparent with this type of stuff. We're not asking for their financial records and, how much money did you make, or you paying your taxes, and we're not asking for that. We're asking for you to prove the quality of your product. So, it shouldn't be anything wrong with that. It shouldn't be a problem with them showing these things. So these companies that I'm reaching out to, if they're not being transparent, or if they're not even making an attempt to respond back to me, in my estimation, it shows a lot, and it says something about their company and their willingness to be open and transparent. So it's important that I bring this to you guys because this matters. All right. So if you have a USDA logo on your label, then can you show the USDA certificate? Because what I've been learning is some of these companies, they either they're putting that USDA logo on their products, but it's not always official. I'm not going to get all the way into that, but it's not always official. Can you show pictures of the facility? And the reason why I ask that is because, again, if you're saying that you're pressing your oil, and what kind of machines you're using. So you can tell me you're using a certain kind of machine, but can you show it to me? Can you prove it? And can you show the FDA or your latest sanitary inspection of your facility? So if this is another thing, just like any food place, anything, wherever you have some place that's creating or manufacturing goods that are being ingestible goods. I know I'm saying that wrong, but your facility has to be, certified, inspected to make sure the cleanliness and everything is up to par. The machines are proper. The machines are running proper. They're cleaned properly. There's even certain things where certain things have to be, like certain machines, certain devices, or certain whatever have to be a certain amount of space away from the next type of thing. And just, it's a lot of complicated stuff. So like there's even things where you have to have certain type of tables depending on what you're doing. It's a lot of technical stuff in all these different industries. So these are things that I'm just, I want to know. So like I said, I reached out to all these different companies. Amazing Herbs being the first one that I reached out to and got direct contact with, they haven't responded to me. It's been a month. So to me, that says something to me. So it's just very interesting that they didn't, they took my call, they spoke to me, they took the information, they accepted the questions and never got back to me. And as I said, I reached out to them, numerous times over the past few weeks to get, clarification and to get a response. So they pretty much, after getting the questions, just decided to ignore me. So to me, that says a lot. So I just thought it was important to share that with you guys. So it's just information. You can take it how you want to take it. It's not I'm not trying to indict them and say that they're hiding anything, but kind of looks that way. It just makes me wonder. So the other thing that I feel like I made it very clear about what I do on my YouTube channel, as far as I review black seed oil products. I review black seed oils. I gave them the different links to the oils, to the reviews that I've done on their products. So they know I'm not just a guy that's looking to bash them or whatever. I've done reviews on their products. I've spoken highly about their products. And I have other informations where I'm digging into these different informations and I'm giving real information. So I don't feel like I bash or knock any of these companies, but I've just been pulling out and learning and bringing this different information. So if I've said things about them that isn't favorable on their end, everything is the truth. And they also have the opportunity to refute that. And they've never made an opportunity. There was one time, as I told you guys, one of the videos where someone from their company, I think it was a VP or whatever it was someone higher up in their company. They reached out to me and they wanted to talk, and that conversation never happened. They wanted to do a phone conversation. I wanted to do an email, and because emails are records. And that leads me into another story that I'm going to do another video about, why it is important to document conversations in anything regarding business. When I do put that video up, I'll put it up here. I forgot, I think it'll be up here. But that segues into another topic that I'm going to get into. But it is very important to, and this is for anything in life for you guys, so that you know, this is for anything in life. If you're dealing with a serious situation, the best way to document something is having an email trail. And it said something to me when, the guy reached out to me because he wanted to, I guess, give some clarity or dispute something that I said regarding amazing herbs. And he just wanted to do a phone conversation. Once I said email, I never got another response from him. So again, that says something. Now, again, I'm not saying these people are being deceptive. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just pointing out my experiences with them, and you can take you can take it how you want to take it. You can take it, your opinion, how you want to take it. I'm just presenting this information to you. That's pretty much it. I'm going to be, reaching out to I have been reaching out to other companies, and I'm going to give them a little bit more time, and I'll bring it, that information to you. But this was the first one, Amazing Herbs. And like I said, they are the biggest company. So I wanted to start with them. And, to be real with you, I feel like I've said so much about them. I wanted to give them the opportunity to, give them the opportunity to boost themselves back up a little bit, and it didn't happen. So it is what it is. If you want to know my recommendation for the best black seed oil, check the link in the description. If you don't already know what I rock with, it is in the description. Check it out. Until next time, stay focused, stay fit. Please hit that like button, show your support. Definitely hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted the next time something else pops up on the radar. Salute.